Surprise! Surprise! Nobody's gonna find me over here. Here's a little quote. C.S. Lewis said, "I believe in Christianity as I believe in the rising sun, not because I see it, but by it I can see all else." So it's a poster that came out of my daughter's room. So, hey guys, what's going on? Just you know what? I'm trying something a little bit different this morning, and I'm popping over here on this other channel to do a little video. And I'm not expecting anybody to show up, but we'll see. If you're out there, let me know you're out there. Say something in the chat. Like I said, I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm not trying to start my own channel. This channel's been around, but I want to bring this channel up to date on a few things. Okay. Obviously, this channel was started when I started putting out the trailers for Detestable. And then obviously I put out a lot of trailers for Detestable. We put out the film. And we've been talking about the film a lot. The film is still relevant, and cases are still emerging about satanic ritual abuses, which is what the film is about. So I want to explain for anybody that doesn't know, for anybody that's on this channel, who doesn't know what this is. Satanic ritual abuse is exactly how it sounds. It's abuse. Abuse can mean physical abuse, torture, sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional, spiritual abuse in the setting of a ritual. Okay, when we think ritual, think exactly what you've seen in a film. People in robes, standing around an altar, burning candles. And when we say satanic, that is the nature of the ritual. It is satanic. It is worshiping Satan. It is, I don't want to say the opposite of God, but it is worshiping the enemy of God, the enemy of humanity. So this is what satanic ritual abuse is. And when this happens, excuse me, got to scratch my ankle. When this happens, they do this for several different reasons. One, to summon demonic presence, to summon demons, and then to send them out, to have an effect on others, to attack others. Cult level spiritual warfare. They do it to condition the children. Now, what's crazy about this is children are being abused in these settings, and they're being traumatized, and their personalities are being split. Okay. So this is something that's been going on for a long, long time. You know, it's interesting in the film Detestable that I have a clip of Christopher Lee, the famous actor in there, who is famous for playing vampires and being in creepy films. And he's probably played the devil or who knows what else in films before. And he says, so matter-of-factly, yes, it's real. Yes, it's real. It's going on tonight, and the police know it's real, and they're fighting this. And he said it so matter-of-factly. And then you fast forward, 50 years, and people act like it's not real. People act like it's a conspiracy theory. So anyway, guys, this film that we made, there's none other like it. What's interesting though is that the same year that I made my film Detestable, John Pounders made a film called Dark Covenant. Okay. And then a year before that, Kate White made an album called 6 Feet Down. Okay, which this is an album about SRA, okay, and her experience in it, and it's a good album, okay. So then, when the year that Dark Covenant and Detestable came out, Randy Rose began working on his album Songs for the Ritually Abused. So many things. It's interesting that so many things happened. You know, here's another anomaly or coincidence that happened years and years ago. You guys remember the film Star Wars: The Phantom Menace? Okay, years ago when that movie came out, I believe it was in 90. I don't know, it might have been 99 or 2000 or something like that. I think it was right before the turn of the century. Okay, I stood out in line with my youngest son. We camped out in Ohio in a tent to wait for tickets to this movie, right? It's a long story how we had the opportunity to do it. I had some time off of work for another reason, and that didn't happen. But then all of a sudden we had this time and we did it. So I was number 3 in line. Number 1 in line was a filmmaker. And he was a wannabe filmmaker. I was a wannabe filmmaker. He ended up moving to Hollywood, to California, to make films, and I ended up not making films until now. Okay, excuse me, but it turns out he was a survivor. He was an SRA survivor, and he ends up making a docudrama film about SRA. 2 filmmakers from the same town make a film about SRA. I don't know what happened with his film. His film was called Gray, and I've seen it. I've seen the screener, but I've never actually seen the film out anywhere. I know a lot of money was put into it to produce it, but anyway, it just didn't get out. But anyway, lots of media, lots of film, lots of truth out there on satanic ritual abuse. So anyway, I just want to make a short video just to kind of explain what Detestable is. If you watch the film, you're going to see testimonies from survivors. You're going to see testimonies from people whose parents were abused. From if you watch the film, there's going to be a pastor and a pastor's wife in there who have come into encounters with people who were out of covens, who were sent into churches to try and infiltrate them. This is what we hear all the time is satanic covens will send in infiltrators to a church to try and bring down the pastor, to try and bring down the church. Okay. They have expert infiltrators that are trained to use sex. Women are sent in to use sex to try and make the pastor fall. And they're experts at this. They're professionals. And they send them in to bring the church down. So we've heard this several different times, you know. And what happens if the church is strong enough and if it's filled with the Spirit of God, the programming will break down. Okay. And then the person will turn on the cult. We've seen this happen time and time again. But if the church is weak, if the church has no discernment, no spiritual giftings, then the infiltrator will likely be successful. So anyway, hey, we got somebody in the chat room. Hey, what's up? Happy Yom Teruah. Am I reading that right? I'm sorry. I'm not I know it's this week is the Feast of Trumpets. So I know many of my friends are celebrating this week. So, but it's cool to see somebody in the chat room. Yes, I'm doing a sneaky special surprise show on a different channel, but I'm just kind of doing something a little bit different, guys. So hang in there with me. But anyway, when you watch the film Detestable, you see these testimonies of people who, I love Debbie's testimony. And when I began making the film, she's like, I'm glad you're making this film. This is true. I had an experience. And I said, really, what was your experience? And she told me, and I said, would you be willing to come on film with this? Because I thought that her story was so credible and her presentation was so credible. Her and her husband were a young couple. He was a pastor, and they got assigned to take over this church in Ohio. And they went in and they just had church. They were just doing what Christians do. They are helping the sick and loving people and, feeding the hungry, and just, they were helping those who were addicted to drugs. There was a major crime ring and drug trafficking going on in this town. And the pastor would show up to different places, and he would see like pornography out in view of where children could see it. He said something, and then at this store, and then they got mad at him. They came after this pastor. Basically, this satanic cult was running this town, this Ohio town. You know what? I want to go there. I need to just go there. I might do that. So this satanic cult was running this town, and here comes a church, a pastor who loves the Lord, who's on fire for God, filled with the Holy Spirit, and he's not going to put up with it. He didn't know that there was a satanic cult running the town. He just thought everybody in there was crazy. They sent in an infiltrator to try and bring him down, to try and get close to the pastor's wife. And they would do all kinds of stuff. They would be like, hey, you need to come out to this house. This lady needs help. She's dying. She needs help right now. And he's like, I'm not coming out there. I am not coming out to this house. I know it's a setup, and I'm not going out there alone. And then when he refused to come out, they would just begin to laugh and say, we're going to get you. We're bringing your family down. The chief of police was in on it. And this whole town, I don't want to say the whole town, but many people in power in this town were involved in this satanic cult. And they had a meeting in the hospital. And the meeting was about, we're going to stop this cult. But they were the ones doing the cult. They were the ones involved. And then they said that the people who are trying to stop the cult were actually the perpetrators. So this is a common tactic that they use when they get caught. They try to say, these are the guys. No, it's not us. It's them. Right? So we see this happen. And anyway, this is something that's been going on. So if you haven't seen the film Detestable, you can go to throughtheblack.com, and you'll see a link there where you can rent it. Detestablefilm.com. It might be a better place to go, but you'll see the testimonies of all these people. And we've gotten a small handful of people that didn't like the film or who didn't believe it, but overwhelmingly, people love the film. Some people can't finish the film because the testimonies are so gut-wrenching. They're so intense. And I don't want to say they're graphic, but some of them are a little bit, okay? So I'm not on here to sell the film. The film, most people know about it. That are in this what would we say, movement, okay? But we do want to get more people to know about it. I just kind of want to come on here and explain what it was and talk about satanic ritual abuse. Why are pastors so afraid to talk about this? When I brought this up to my church board, and thank you, brother. And the comment in the chat room is just rented it over the weekend. And loved it. Powerful. So that's what we get. We get powerful, and I give all praise to God for that. He helped me make that film, so there's no way I could have done it. So anyway, forget what I was saying. It was about the film. Anyway, here's the thing. When it comes to satanic ritual abuse, people are afraid of this issue. We've got to take that fear off the table. We've got to show the dark side, the coven members, the satanic cults, that we're not afraid. We're not afraid. There's a stigma, there's a fear that goes with this, okay? They should be the ones fearing us. We're the ones who have the creator of the universe, his spirit living in us, okay? It's got to be a joke, right? That they would try to challenge him, that they would try to come against God. So we shouldn't have fear. We should have no fear when facing these guys. These guys are the ones operating in the dark. We're out in the open. We have nothing to hide. Hey, everybody, this is Tom. I'm a Christian. I believe in the living Christ. He lives in my heart. He saved me from hell. He saved me from death. What about you? No, you're hiding. You're hiding in the dark, and you're doing your rituals in the dark because it's illegal what you're doing. You're killing babies. You're drinking blood. You're doing sick, perverted, sexual things to children, abusing children, torturing them, and you have every reason to hide. We are not hiding, and we're coming after you. You know, we're here to expose you. We're making films. We're making music. We're writing books. Nathan Reynolds just wrote a book, Snatched from the Flames, which is a powerful exposure of what's going on. So anyway, guys, just a kind of an update, popping in on this channel and making a little video to bring awareness and to remind people that we're out here. The main channel that we're on is the Through the Black channel. So if you go to YouTube and type in Through the Black, you'll find us. Okay, we got, I don't know, over a couple hundred videos on there, and a lot of people who discover us go to the archives and they're like, wow, there's lots of archives. And we've been doing this for over a year, a couple videos a week. So we got a lot to choose from. Most of it is pretty serious. Most of it is informational stuff and teaching and Bible teaching and talking about satanic ritual abuse. But you're going to find a few in there that are just silly, that will bring absolutely no value to your life whatsoever. But anyway, people like those because sometimes it's good to take a break from all this insanity, you know, and have a good time and have a good laugh. But guys, thanks for checking this out. Won't be over here a lot, but we'll pop in once in a while to talk about some stuff over here. And we're going to see how this works out. So don't forget, throughtheblack.com is the website. That's the main website. Also, I should mention that we have a new film out. The new film is called This Is a War. So for anybody on this channel that thought that the Detestable was our only movie, that's not true. This Is a War is our other movie. And I've always wanted to make a movie, and now I've made two, and I think that's super cool. I mean, for me, it's good for me. I like it. I'm like, wow, cool, Tom. You made not one movie, but two movies, and we're working on more. So we want to make films that will, you know, that people are going to like, and that people that are going to inspire and provoke and edify the church and expose the darkness and preach the gospel, give the truth. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll be back here from time to time, but throughtheblack.com is the website, and that's also Through the Black. YouTube is the main channel. So God bless everybody, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.